Get ready with me as I'm telling you a story about our fertility journey with baby number one, or not even a fertility journey, but more of the pre-authorization discrimination from the medical companies, just how it all happens. Basically having a conversation with the medical consultant before the authorization process even begins, right? So we still have Aetna insurance, and so Aetna has an offshoot there with the Department of Medical Consultants who basically just ask you some pre-screening questions, whether you qualify for the benefit or not. So part of that pre-screening process was basically my wife and I had to go through a consultation on the phone with the medical professional and a nurse, I believe, and she was just asking us a bunch of questions about our fertility health, about our women's health in general, right? And just anything kind of like that would determine whether we are eligible or not for the benefit. The fertility benefit that actually came with her medical plan with work, and it was fantastic, right? Like, it was supposed to cover a lot of medical things around the fertility journey and labor and delivery, so it was great, and we ended up using it. Spoiler alert. But to get there, to arrive at that place, took us a while, only because during that phone consultation it just turned out that we were basically asked a bunch of questions. The person on the call insinuated that we are perfectly healthy, both my wife and I could easily procreate. The only thing that we needed to do is just basically go out there on the street, find a man with a D and do the deed and just be done with it, go and procreate that way, right? Like, there was no obstacle basically, right, for us. And we really didn't know what to make of that whole insinuation, right? Like, of course, that wasn't just like plainly and straightforwardly put like that on the call. It was a convoluted, vague hint that, just everything works. Like, you guys are perfectly fine. You're healthy. You're capable. Just go and explore your natural ways of having a baby. Why not? Like, what's stopping you? Go like on Facebook, so to say, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with actually, getting sperm on Facebook or finding a person, a donor on Facebook. It works for a lot of couples. And I know that I have some examples with our friends and family. They're not family, but they're like really close friends. And it's wonderful. It's just not the way that we wanted to explore, right? We wanted a formal way to go through the sperm bank. Let me let out a cat.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so we wanted to explore the formal way. We wanted to go through the sperm bank. We wanted the opportunity to select a donor, to review their medical profile, to look at their background and their history with the family and all of that, right? So the Facebook crowd, go out onto the street with a sign, I'm ready to have a baby. That just wasn't the route that we wanted to explore. And so we looked at each other after that phone call and we were just like, what is happening, right? Like, what is this person basically hinting at, right? Like, what we're supposed to do? Like, is this a good call? Is this a bad call? Like, just do we qualify? Do we not? Like, is there any kind of like obstacle? Is this like a discrimination case? Luckily, after some time, and it took a while, probably a couple months at least, like, we were approved for the benefit. It was just a very strange experience overall, and I felt like we're not really treated as a unit, as a couple, as a legal marriage that we are. I'm sure that probably that type of hinting, that type of questioning, or even the conclusion of a medical consultation, or even like this pre-screening process would not go well with the straight couple. There wouldn't be hinting of any sort of like that. And overall, I felt like that was not their place to just really offered us those options. Since we're reaching out to use that medical benefit, clearly we're interested in going the medical formal route. It was very strange. And of course, like, some of our friends, when we shared this conversation with them later, told us that it was a mild case of discrimination. I felt like we were just so dumbfounded in the moment that we just didn't really like realize like what was happening, what was going on. And after some processing, after some time, it just kind of like dawned on us that, oh my God, like, we just couldn't believe that was actually happening. So there you go. There's definitely different ways in life to have babies, right? And you can always explore different types of natural assisted type of insemination, fertility, and the journey is different and maybe difficult and challenging for everybody in their own ways. But that was a very strange beginning for us, and it did take us 3 trials. On the 3rd trial, we finally got our miracle baby. This is baby number 2, and the process was a lot easier this time around as far as the pre-authorization pre-authorization and just navigating the medical system that way, just qualifying for the medical benefit, and just overall the documentation process, the bureaucracy. The only thing that was super tricky for us is that we were transferring our embryos from Austin Fertility Lab to Virginia, here in Falls Church, Virginia, and so Texas to Virginia, and that was in itself a super complicated few months type of process, and that's a story for another day, another time. That was crazy. But they made it, right? Obviously, yes. So now we are in month 8 of expecting the baby boy to arrive, and this is a happy time. But yeah, so it is what it is. Life works in its mysterious ways, and luckily we were able to go through this journey in stride. And sometimes, there are good times, there are bad times, lows and highs. This is what it is.